In my third area, we had a really cool experience. We actually had a family move into the area. The son was a recent convert, and the mom was a really serious investigator. And our APs were really excited. They said, "Our investigator and our recent convert is moving into your area. Please take good care of them." And so, of course, we told them we would, and they were great. They were so excited about the gospel, and it was really cool to hear the story of how, I guess, of how they learned about the gospel. Because I know at first the mother, she was really against the church. She did not want to listen to the missionaries. She didn't want to have anything to do with the church. And her son started listening to the missionaries, but his mom told him, "Don't get baptized. If they ask you to be baptized, say no." And so he was like, "Well, I've got to do what my mom says." He was already 18, but you know, he still wanted to respect his mom, so he wasn't planning to be baptized. But the lesson came when the elders asked him if he'd be baptized, and he just said yes. And he said that he was a little startled by that, because you know, he was like, "What? I just told them I'd be baptized. What's my mom gonna say?" But I guess the Spirit just pushed him, and he accepted baptism. And while his mom was pretty upset, she said, "Okay, if you're gonna get baptized, then you can just forget about me as your mother." And yeah, they had a tense couple of days where brother, the son was going to be baptized, and she didn't want it. And then she said that for like 2 or 3 nights she couldn't sleep. Like she couldn't sleep at all. And she was like, "Okay, why is this happening? What's bothering me so much?" And she prayed, and she said, "Okay, if you want, I'll let my son be baptized," because she thought, well, maybe that's it. Maybe God is angry with me because I'm not letting him be baptized. And so she told her son, "Okay, you know, if you really want to be baptized, then, you know, I'll let you be baptized, but, you know, how's that going to work? We'll be going to 2 different churches." And so she still didn't really want it, but she was, you know, she was going to let him, but she still didn't want to talk to the missionaries. But then the elders, they decided, we need to talk to this investigator's mom. And so one day they just decided to talk to her, and they just like, I think she was upstairs, and her son came up and said, "The missionaries want to talk to you, Mom." And she said, "No, tell them to go away." But they just marched right up the stairs and reached out the hand and shook her hand, and just started talking to her. And so she's like, well, at that point, all I could do was just sit down and listen. And so she did. And by the end of that lesson, her heart was softened, and she committed to come to church. And so the very next Sunday, she and her son were at church, and just hearing that story was super like cool. I like, because by the time she got into our area, by the time they moved and we started teaching them, she was super converted, super committed to the gospel. And it was just really cool to see how the gospel really can change people's hearts. That even if at first they don't seem like the type who would accept the gospel, the Lord knows how to soften their hearts. And you know, the story didn't end there. You know, she eventually was baptized, and you know, before her baptism, she was a little hesitant to share the gospel just openly, because she didn't feel like she really could, not being a member yet. But once she got baptized, she was on fire. Like, it was so cool. She just wanted to convert everyone. She was so determined to like let everyone know that this was the true church. And she was a really, really good asset for, you know, like to be a fellowshipper for investigators, especially ones who were really against the church, because she could tell them, hey, what about me? I was against the church before, but now, look, I'm a member. And it was really cool. And one really cool thing that happened was she had a neighbor who was actually a less active member, who hadn't come to church in years. And you know, our convert, she didn't even know that this sister was a member until, you know, they'd been like neighbors for, I don't know, a couple months. And then she found out and she said, hey, come to church. And the less active sister, she said, but I don't know anyone. I'm shy. And our convert, she said, well, I'll go with you. And so she did. And the less active sister came to church. And I guess she had a good time because she came back. She had 4 children. And the week after she came to church, her son, he was talking to our convert, and he said, how can I be baptized? And so our convert, she said, oh, well, I guess he's probably old enough to be baptized. I'll talk to the sisters. And so she talked to us. She said, hey, this boy wants to be baptized. When can you teach him? So we went and we taught him a lesson, and he accepted a date to be baptized. And the very next lesson, his younger sister joined, and she accepted a date to be baptized. And so we had 2 good investigators with baptismal dates. We were super excited, and you know, they kept progressing, and pretty soon their little neighborhood friends started joining in. We had I think we had three of their little neighborhood children would come and sit in on the lessons, and they came to church with the family we were teaching. And you know, pretty soon the little neighborhood children wanted to be baptized too. We couldn't like have them be baptized without their families, because they were like, what, 5, 6, well, of course they were too young to be baptized, but like they were like 7, 8. Like they were kind of young. Yeah, you can't have 6 and 7-year-olds be baptized, but the one that was 8. Yeah, we had some little neighbor children listening in, and I remember one of the little girls that was listening, I think she must have been like 8 years old, and she wanted to be baptized so bad. Like, as you know, as we kept teaching, and then the son and daughter of this less active sister, they got baptized. Then this little neighbor girl, we were in a lesson. We were kind of playing a little game with them, asking some questions. Like, one of the questions was, what was the happiest day of your life? It was just kind of a little activity to, you know, help them be excited. And her answer was, the day I get baptized. And we're like, oh, we need to teach her family. So after that, like after we were all done, like getting our 2 baptismal candidates ready to baptize, after they were baptized, we started trying to go teach the families of these little neighborhood children. And I still don't know how that turned out, because I was transferred right after that. But it was so cool to see how, you know, the influence of one recent convert was able to touch so many people because of her influence. A family was able to be like united in the gospel, like a mother and two of her children, and were able to like attend church and support one another, and we were able to reach out to other people in that neighborhood. And so I really learned the importance of members in missionary work, that the work is so much more effective when members are going out of their way to invite people to listen to the missionaries, when the members are going out of their way to help the less active members come back. Because of course, as missionaries, they see us, they say, oh, it's your job to get people to join your church. But if the members are reaching out and being friends with others and helping them to come unto Christ, then it's just so much better. And those who are baptized are so much more likely to stay active in the church and to progress and endure to the end. And that's the main goal. Missionaries are only there for a few months, but the members will be there much longer. And the recent converts, they really need that support, and so do the less active members who come back to church.